This is the Cruise Dynasty Podcast. We gambling. Week 18 is upon us. Gonna get a little tricky. This week. Some teams got stuff to play for. Some teams don't. Some teams are just shitty at the bottom. They gonna play players. Just a lot of tricky stuff going on. Crap, man. What's going on, man?
Same old thing. If anybody's playing in the championship this week in week 18, y'all dumbasses. Last week was championship week. And there's one reason we don't play in week 18 is because of this. There's going to be about half the teams out there that ain't going to be playing their starters and everything. But, you know, I hope all y'all had good luck in y'all championship weeks last week and didn't get, you know, that's one thing we do need to talk about is how these leagues are, how y'all are handling the leagues that had some impact with the Bengals game too. So
yeah. Well, shoot, we'll let Chris talk about it for a sec. Chris has impacted him. Listen, I had T. Higgins in the last game, but I was getting beat by 60. So I just told the dude, it's over. so C Swizzy, what's going on, man?
What up? I'm definitely the champion. I'm coming out, and I do agree Will should have a chance to get his little player. I even told him he can go pick up any kicker off the waiver wire he wants to, because I'm confident that no kicker this week is getting him 24 fucking points to win. But I don't know. I've seen a lot of people they just went with what that score was, and then I've seen a lot of people that did it no contest. For our league, man, there's just no way in hell you can go no contest in the championship. What happened is terrible. Pray that man gets all right, gets good. I've been reading that he's doing better. That's great. You never want to see something like that. But come on, man. We just gotta. I'm giving him another week. What we're doing is we're gonna take the score from this week for his kicker, and we're gonna go from there.
Yep. And the probability of his kicker getting 24 is just insane. What is crazy though, Kraft, is the Bills did kick a field goal pretty early in that game.
So that does crack me up.
He got 3. But see, I thought they were going to score a lot, which means he was going to get a lot of one hit. He was going to get a lot of 1-point kicks. Yeah. Like this dude has to kick like 5, 6, 40, 50-yard field goals to get 20-something points. You know.
Y'all should just call that. In my opinion, I think it's done. Y'all should just call it. Like, kickers are different, but I mean, 24 points is a lot, and the matchup next week is not the same as the matchup the week before. So,
yeah.
They said we'll carry. I looked at what they were playing. I was like, oh, they're playing New England. Okay, yeah, I'll take that week 18 score. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Just take the week 18 score and just be done with it. Or just call it like, I know some people suggested no contest in our league. Like, no way in hell in our league are we having a no contest in the championship, man. I'm not even in the championship, and I'm just like, no way. We are not doing that shit. Like, I will walk out of this league forever. Nah, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that, but
I do like that both of us, like both people in the championship, said that even though he's losing, he even said that he'd rather just lose. So, I mean, we're on the same page at least.
Already lost.
I know. Yeah.
He already lost, man.
I know Micah, he was like, we're overthinking this. So it's like he literally just typed up what we've all been saying for 2 or 3 days. But I don't know, man. I guess if you type it up, make it longer and add paragraphs and shit, people take it more serious. But yeah, anyways, we just moving on, man. Chris is our champion in our league. That's how I see it. Man, what will be real controversial though, Chris, is if this dude does get like 25 next week, we're gonna be looking at this shit like, damn, our league.
I'm gonna be fighting it. Even though I just said I might concede, I'm gonna be mad as fuck. I will not lie to y'all. I just moved into my new house. There might be a hole in my wall if I lose this matchup. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yo, old lady be so mad. She'll be so mad. You done busted a hole. You've been in there a week.
I was going in before that game started. I looked at Haley and I was like, David says he's got 2% chance to win this week. I was like, I just need this game to end and I'm the champion. And then we went over to my parents' house and I kept looking at my phone and I was like, what's going on in this game? I was like, this game hasn't came back on in like 20 minutes. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And then I looked it up and I was like, oh shit. Something like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was shocked. But yeah, man, let's just move on to this DFL. We don't really got prize picks. Chris is waiting on some. Kraft's probably gonna wait on some. I probably won't do any till next year. I'll start hitting on some of them over and unders, getting more involved with it. But DFS today, and for those of you, if you're just listening for the first time, DFS stands for Daily Fantasy Shit. And what the deal is we use FanDuel, so there's a salary cap of 60,000. Each player has a salary on it, and you got to stay under that 60,000 cap. So, for example, you ain't gonna be throwing out Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and CeeDee Lamb out there in one lineup. That ain't happening. Especially, and you can't throw Patrick Mahomes. You got to spread it out, make it work. So, Week 18's a little tricky. You know, some of these players might not be playing for a lot. So you really want to try your best to capitalize on that this week. I just threw a lineup out there. I did my best to get players that are going to be playing and shit. So that's all I can say. Craftman, you got anything to say before we dive into this shit?
You've learned a lot from your DFS this year. You were at the start of the year, you were like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing, and now you're just you explain the whole damn thing perfect.
Hey, 3 out of 4 weeks I've won, and I only do the 50-50 ones, so I might just start doing those other ones that y'all be doing, those tournaments or whatever y'all do. Maybe I'll try to jump into some of them. But usually I've done 4 50-50s, and I've won 3 out of 4, so rolling in hot.
Gotta have balls to do them tournaments, Matt. Gotta have balls.
Yeah, I don't really got balls in DFS. I'm just being real. I tried DFS like 3 or 4 years ago, and I could never win, man. I could never win, so I just quit doing them. And now this year I'm back at it. I actually won a few, so I'm starting to get into it. I kind of like it. I know the poor man. He's gonna be on an episode with us tomorrow. He's been doing this DFS shit the whole way through because we started at the same time. He never stopped. So, but shoot, man, I say we just go ahead and start it off. We'll go position by position like we always do. And start off with a quarterback at the top. So our quarterback, fellas, I went Jarrett Stidham going against Kansas City on Saturday. I guess I should clarify the lineup I'm doing is a Saturday and Sunday. Went with Jarrett Stidham. Had a good game last week. Kansas City's defense has been not that good. So Kansas City, we'll probably talk about it a little bit later, but I know they got a little bit to play for, but I think if certain things work out, they might not have too much to play for. So Jarrett Stidham is where I went.
Yeah. That's a risky one right there. You started off pretty risky. I went a little safer at quarterback this time. I thought about some cheap ones and I switched last minute. Had Brock Purdy in there, but I'm going with T-Law against Tennessee. This is a game going to be one of the best games to watch all weekend. Last time he played Tennessee, this man had his best game of the year, was the QB1 on the week, 368 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. And that was in Tennessee. It's a make or break game right here. And I think he's gonna go off. Ice in his veins this week. What you got, Chris?
See, I did a Saturday and Sunday lineup, but I'll go ahead and give you both. I got T Law in at quarterback too. This is, they're playing to get in, and he had his best game of the year against this team. So we're gonna throw him back in there. But in my Sunday lineup, I did go Brock Purdy. They're playing. Their hope is tomorrow that they can, or not tomorrow, Sunday, that they can get the number 1 seed. So they're gonna play. I think he's good for at least 2, and then he'll be all right after that.
Yep, I'm with you. All right, running backs. The 2 running backs I went with, Cam Akers. I'm the biggest Cam Akers hater in the world, but here I am, rolling Cam Akers. Been on a little streak lately. going against Seattle. Hadn't been doing much against the run. And then I went Tyler Algier going against. I figured the Falcons, they pretty much going to play their guys. I seen they're also favored versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, they're one team that, even though it's a Tom Brady team, I think they're going to be resting guys, I guess. And Vegas is telling you they're going to rest their guys. So Tyler Algier is where I went.
Yep, I had the same thing. I mean, I have a feeling Tampa Bay is going to be resting their guys offensively and defensively. So I went with Algier also. I think watch out for Drake London this week too. It might be a game where they're like, we got to see Desmond Ridder and see what he's about. So they might actually throw the ball 40 times this game. Or they might just go out there and do what they've done all year and just run and nothing else. But got Algier in there, 6,500, pretty cheap. And then I went with Derrick Henry against Jacksonville. I'm sticking with these games that mean everything to these teams. And if there's ever going to be a game where Derrick Henry gets 35 carries, it's going to be this one.
Yep. Agreed.
Yep.
Oh, and they're starting Josh Dobbs this week, so they're going to just
feed. Just feed him.
Yeah, feed him. So, Chris, man, what you got?
On my Saturday lineup, I did throw Josh Jacobs in there. I want to let people know that he is questionable. He may not play, but that's just something I may. They're not playing for anything, but this is probably Josh Jacobs' last game as a Raider, if if being a little bit honest. So they may just run him into the ground and be done. Then backup wise, right there, I've got Travis Etienne. Sticking to this game that means everything to the Jaguars, and I think they're going to go out there and have a pretty good game. That is the one game I want to watch this week. Jaguars Titans. Then going into my Sunday lineup, I went Cam Akers as well. Cam Akers has been on a little hot streak. The matchup is favorable right now. Seattle's given up they're the 30th, so second to worst. Third to worst team to running backs this season. And then I went Deontay Foreman at Carolina in a division game where, split knees is hard at this point, and we only got Deontay Foreman for this year. So I think we're gonna run him.
Yep. You can't get off that Deontay Foreman train.
My Panthers let me down last week, man. Some bullshit.
That was a tough one. Mike Evans blew the fuck up last week.
Man, gotta be pissed if you were going against Mike Evans last week. I mean, that dude had been bad all year. And then at the biggest week, man, goes against 3 touchdowns. We're talking about long touchdowns. So
sell high.
Yep, sell. Yeah. I don't even know if there's a market to sell high with Mike Evans, but who knows? Because you want to know why I say that? Because Tom Brady, his contract's up after this year. That dude ain't coming back. But then again, they might get a younger guy up in there and something might work out. But wide receivers, my 3 wide receivers, I went Christian Watson. Now, his thing right here says he's questionable, but this dude's got to play, man. The biggest game, it's going to be He's playing. So, what you call it? He's got a good matchup versus Detroit. He's explosive. I could see him getting a touchdown. Then I went Terry McLaurin. Old Heineke's back in the lineup. So what? Are you serious, man?
Sam Howell is starting for the Manders on Sunday.
Well, it's already submitted, so it is what it is.
You can edit it.
Yeah, you can edit it.
That's true. I will go in there and I will make a move. Well, Terry McLaurin. And then my other one was Justin Jefferson, because I'd been pretty much going cheap. I just think Justin Jefferson is going to go out there and put some work in, even though it's Chicago. I'm not sure how much they got to play for. This dude got locked down last week. I think he's probably in the locker room bitching, moaning. So, I mean, what's his name, Zaire? That dude was in his head last week. Jair, that dude was in his head. Yeah, he was mad. So I think Justin Jefferson bounced back a little bit. They're at least going to give him some work. That's why I felt pretty safe with it. So those were my guys: Watson, McLaurin, TBD, and then Justin Jefferson.
There you go. I feel like Justin Jefferson's going to pop off too. And Minnesota does have something to play for. They could lose. San Fran jumped them last week, but Dallas could jump them. As far as their seeding, well, no, Dallas couldn't jump them. I'm not real sure. I know they can drop a spot, but Dallas can't because they're a wild card team. So they do have something to play for, though. So he should get back on track this week, unless he just got figured out, which I don't think he did. But my three receivers in tournaments, you got to stack. You just got to stack. So I went with Zay Jones again. I've been hitting and miss with him he's in my lineup a lot, though, because he's not that expensive, and he pops off sometimes. And I went with Christian Watson also. Had a bad week on the the game log last week, 5 targets for 1 reception. But if you watch that game, Aaron Rodgers took some deep shots to him. He was just an inch away from another 40-yard touchdown. He's gonna get his deep looks in this game against Detroit. So maybe he'll hit. And my cheap guy went with Raheed Shaheed against Carolina. He was 5,800. Both of these teams have a lot to play for, and he's a burner. So maybe he can catch a deep one, take it to the house. That's what you want as your cheap guy.
Yeah. You know, that number 2 spot in the NFC South, that's a coveted title right there, man. Got a lot to play for.
The Saints can make the playoffs. Well, they have to have a lot of shit happen.
What? Really?
I think so. I want to look it up. No, never mind. Scratch that. I think they're out. They done. But they'll be playing.
They'll still play though, because it's a division game, big division game.
Yeah, they'll play their guys.
With mine, these are tough, man, in these weeks, because I kind of want to stick to teams that I feel like it's going to be competitive. I did stack in with Zay Jones, with T-Law, like you got. Also, I've got Treylon Burks in there. He's questionable. Just sticking with that game that they're going to be out there playing. Got Dobbs back there throwing the ball. Treylon Burks had like 68 receiving yards the other week, so look for him to get involved a bit more if he plays. If he doesn't, I'll have to go in there and swap him out. But my third receiver for my Saturday lineup is I got Kadarius Toney in there. Oh, my hamstring hurts like hell. Kadarius Toney. They're probably going to be resting these days because they're probably going to be smacking them. I don't really see. I mean, what can they move up? Can they move down? Like what's Kansas City's situation, Kraft, man?
If they win, they're the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, I'm thinking if it's a little deep shot throw out there, maybe he won't trip before the game starts, and maybe he'll play. And my second on Sunday. On Sunday, I've got Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins, and y'all already know, man, the super talented DJ Moore is in there. Super talented DJ Moore. Got to be in there.
Heard that.
Ultra talented.
Yeah, DJ Moore came on at the end of this year, man. Came on. Which just makes me think, Kraft, it's like crazy. I could have really won that Average Joe's League if Jonathan Taylor didn't fuck me over, man. It's crazy. Back at it, though. Tight end. I'll just go ahead and give you my tight end flex and defense while I'm at it. Tight end, I went Robert Tonyan. The Onion. Versus Detroit.
Makes you want to cry.
Yeah, so, Green Bay got a lot to play for, so I went Robert Tonyan. My flex, I went Christian Kirk versus Tennessee. That game, they need to win that game, so And then my last one, Miami's defense going against the Jets. I think both teams do need to win that game, right? Miami for sure needs to win it.
Yeah,
So
Miami can get into the playoffs with they would have to win, and they need the Patriots to lose to get in.
yeah. So Miami definitely got something to play for. So I took
Yeah,
it's that game's got a low under and under. So that's the defense I roll with. Jets
that's a
defense
good one.
sucks anyways. Their offense sucks. So
Yeah, I went on the opposite side with the Jets. Did you give your flex?
yep,
Who's
Christian
your
Kirk.
flex? Yeah, Christian Kirk. That's right. All right, so I went with the Jets against Miami. They're starting Skyler. He's been terrible whenever he's been in there, and Jets defense is good. I gotta say this though, while we're talking about it, the damn Steelers got a good shot in getting into these playoffs. They need the Patriots to lose and the Dolphins to lose. The Dolphins could lose this game against the Jets with Skyler, and the Patriots could definitely lose against the Bills. If the Steelers
I
win, they
agree.
can get in. So that's going to
That's a
be a
good
great
one.
game to watch too, if everything kind of pans out. But yeah, I got the Jets defense at tight end. I got Isaiah Likely going against Cincinnati. He was 4,800. They have no receivers, and that's just the bottom line for the only reason. I know he's tight end, but he's kind of built like a receiver and is used that way. So I actually think he's probably the best receiver on their team, the best pass catcher on their team outside of Mark Andrews. So that was my tight end. And my flex, I went with Aaron Jones against Detroit. In these must-win games, I've seen it a million of times as a Packers fan. Aaron Jones is a security blanket for Aaron Rodgers. And in these must-win games, it's all Aaron Jones. So have a feeling he's going to blow up. As long as he can stay healthy, he is questionable, but I expect him to be out there. Shit, if I can get all the Packers in my lineup, I would, but not a smart
Yeah.
move.
All right, what you got, C Swizzy? Cap us off.
On Saturday, my tight end flex and defense, I got Darren Waller in at tight end, with Stidham throwing in the ball. And I got Hunter Renfro slided in. See if he'll get a little bit of work as well. For defense, I'm going the Jaguars defense against Tennessee on Saturday.
Smart.
Sunday, tight end, I got Tyler Higbee in there. My flex, the Sun God, Amon Ra against Green Bay. And my defense is the Dolphins defense. Although I may change that because I did not know that Skyler was starting. So I have to change that.
Yeah.
A bad offense and a good defense just doesn't ever really work out that well for you, you know.
Yeah. I hadn't heard much on Teddy. I don't think Tua is going to play, but if y'all have any updates on Teddy, I know he said he had a fractured finger. I don't know.
I think Skyler.
Teddy might be better than Skyler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going with the under. Yeah. Well, shit. Yep. Chris, you did both of your lineups. I was just looking at my shit, trying to think of replacements. I wasn't listening. I gotta do something about that Terry McSee. I gotta have to do something about that one. All right, then shoot, man. Y'all want to move on to these game lines then?
Yeah, we can move on to the game lines. While we're hitting these game lines, let's give the people a little something about games to avoid because they might be sitting players and people to avoid it. Like that goes for FanDuel too, to avoid these players because they might be expensive in FanDuel and it might look like a good matchup, but they might not even play. So, yep.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and hit what lines we got.
All right, shoot. Let's just go ahead and start off right. The lock of the week, the Cruise Dynasty lock of the week. What are we, 3-1? In fact, last week we hit on the under on the
We
Cardinals and the
lost
Falcons.
It,
they scored a lot of
come close.
Yeah, they scored a lot of points in that first half. And then I even said to my old lady in the living room, I was like, man, we just need a bunch of field goals in this second half. Sure enough, they popping field goals out there. They can't get in the end zone no more. And we won that one. So money for everybody. Our lock of the week this week is Miami versus the New York Jets. We took the under at 38.5. Jets offense has been bad. Miami's offense is going to have a third string. If not, at best case scenario, they got a broken finger Teddy Bridgewater out there. They hit the under last week with the Patriots or whatever. I remember I took the over in that game. They scored the under last week with Teddy. So, Jets got a good defense too. So, it just all works out. That's what we're going with. We're going for 4-1. What y'all got to say about that game, fellas?
It got a lot of playoff implications, but it's gonna be. I have a feeling it's gonna be a low scoring game. Both of these offenses. Mike White, he got figured out last week. I don't want to speak too soon, but that's the way shit usually goes. Quarterback comes out there, looks great, and then gets figured out. Might come in there and do pretty well, but I don't see a lot of points in this game at all.
Yeah, same. No, we're 5-0. I refuse to believe that we're 4-1 on consensus locks. We're 5-0. Fuck Bill Belichick and the Patriots for that fucking nonsense that they pulled the other week. That's some bullshit, man.
It is crazy that our only lot we lost so far is a team decided to lateral the ball around.
Like one of the biggest blunders in like 10 years of NFL football.
Shit's just insane. So I'll go ahead and say mine. I took Jacksonville -6 versus Tennessee. I took the money line on Green Bay. The money line was at -209. Usually if it's 200 and above, I don't take it. But I just feel really good about Green Bay winning. So I'm going to throw a little extra cash on that one right there. And then I got New York Giants +14 versus Philly. And then Los Angeles Rams versus Seattle, the over at 41.5. Me and the fellas, before they give you theirs, New York Giants +14 is really probably my most iffiest one right now. Giants are locked into their spot. That's what it looks like. Philly's playing for the 1 seed. Jalen Hurts coming back. So, I don't know. I should have did my homework. Because Vegas is telling you they're going to be resting players, right, Kraft?
At +14, I would imagine if Daniel Jones and all them boys were going to be playing, that line would be around 7 or something, or maybe 10 at the most, not 14.
Yeah. Chris, you had read a report earlier talking about Daboll saying he might not rest guys or something like that.
I know that the reporter asked him about if he was thinking about resting Jones, Barkley, resting key players, and he just said straight up that he hadn't thought about it. When it comes to stuff like this, man, it's literally right before the game starts, and as soon as them players walk out on the field, is how that kind of goes.
Follow Vegas. I believe in Vegas more than coach speak, but
the house always wins, and you got to go with Vegas. If Vegas knows something, they know it before we do.
Hell yeah, they got insiders.
Big time. And then let's see the other one: Rams versus Seattle. I think Seattle has a little something to play for, right? Or is that game just straight up over with? They both out.
No, Seattle can get in the playoffs if they win and the Packers lose.
All right. So over at 41.5 seems pretty safe. But we'll see. Crap man, what you got going?
I got Minnesota versus Chicago. Minnesota does have something to play for. Chicago is sitting Justin Fields. I got the under at 43.5. Nathan Peterman ain't going to score but 7 points. They can barely score 10 with Justin Fields. I do think Minnesota's going to get right, but even if Minnesota scores 28-31, you still got to have Chicago score 14 to get there. So I don't believe in anything from Chicago, even as bad as this Minnesota defense is. Nathan Peterman and David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert. No receivers. Cole Kmet is their main pass catcher. I don't think they're going to score. Next one, I got Tennessee versus Jacksonville. I had some guys in the FanDuel, and it reflects the way I think the game's going to go. I got the over at 39.5. Joshua Dobbs ain't great at all, but I do think Derrick Henry's going to eat, and I think that the Jacksonville offense is going to be able to roll a little bit. So I think it's going to be a more high-scoring game than you give it credit for. And Dobbs, he is bad, but he might be better than Malik Willis. The coach obviously thinks so. This is a win and in game, and Malik Willis is healthy, so might be some points to go around on that one. And then I got Pittsburgh. I'm gonna take them at 2.5 versus Cleveland. Must-win game for them too. They can still get in the playoffs. Also, they're gonna play hard either way because if they're not playing for the playoffs, they're playing for Mike Tomlin to get that winning record again. So I like Pittsburgh in that one. I still don't like Cleveland at all. I bet against them every week, and it always seems to work out. And then I got the Jets and Miami. I got the under, our lock of the week. And then my risky pick for y'all risky gamblers out there, I got the money line at plus 225, the Rams to beat the Seahawks. That's my risky one.
That's money right there if that one hits.
Yep.
What you got? What you got for us, C Swizzy?
All right. So I got Dallas versus Washington. I'm taking the over. It just seems like every time Dallas plays, they hit the over, either themselves or the game just somehow hits the over. I know Kraftman took the under in the Minnesota versus Chicago game. I think Minnesota is going to go out here and look to put up some fucking points after what Aaron Rodgers and Jair did to them last week. I think that they're going to be a little salty, and they're going to want out there. I'm taking the over for that game. Let's see. I got Carolina plus 3 at New Orleans with Carolina, man. Y'all pissed me the fuck off last week. I mean,
sticking with them.
Like, Jesus Christ, but I'm sticking with them, man. I mean, Andy Dalton ain't Tom Brady. They don't have Michael Thomas's old ass out there. He ain't played. David's a league winner right there. Jarvis Landry. I mean, you got what fucking Shaheed out there. Chris Olave, maybe. I mean, I think that we can get it plus 3. I mean, easily. I think that we could do that. I mean, we had Tom Brady, but Jesus. I had the plus 14 at New York Giants versus Philly as well, but that's going to be a big risk. Then the other one I had was our lock of the week, Jets versus Miami, under 38.5.
Yep. So, like Chris just said, it's like our riskiest one because the poor man, I'm about to read his too, but he's also got the Giants plus 14. So, that's just a natural gambler's thing right there. You saw that line, and it's just like, oh, snap. Had to hit it. But, dang, man, week 18. I'm just going to roll with it, though. It is what it is. I think they could still do it. But it is what it is, though. If they don't, we'll lose a little money. But I'm gonna go ahead and read the poor man's off real quick. Poor man ain't been with us lately, but he's gonna be here tomorrow night when we talk about something. So the poor man, he just went with the money line on the Jets and Houston. Then took the Titans at plus 6.5, Las Vegas plus 9.5, and then New York Giants plus 14. So a lot of plus, taking a lot of underdogs to cover. Who's Houston playing, Kraft man?
The Colts. Y'all want to sit down and watch that one together? Y'all want to skip? Let's skip that Jaguars-Titans game and that Packers-Detroit game. Let's watch the Colts in Texas this weekend.
Oh, man. That's a good one, though.
I'd probably rather watch the WNBA, to be honest with you.
Man,
don't go that
I used to watch. I was about to say, I used to watch the NBA all the time. I ain't turned on a game in a few years now.
I said the WNBA.
Oh, Lord.
But tell me, for some reason, that Colts game will be on Red Zone all damn day. And you're going to be like, why the fuck are they showing this game? Y'all see the national championship coming up, UGA TCU. I saw the line open up at 14. Are you taking TCU plus 14?
Yeah.
Me?
Because I know you took. Because I know a lot of people got burnt -6 on UGA.
Big time,
Who,
big
me?
I
time.
Shouldn't
shit,
have
I
been
got
taking it.
burnt -6. I was
Last
just asking.
time
Any of y'all thinking about taking it? Shit, I know that one dude put 1.5 mil on TCU.
That
at
was me.
+14.
Nah, on the money line, straight up.
Yeah, on the money line. He can
Yeah,
win
to
like
win
5
5.5.
million. Yeah.
Yeah, 5.5 million.
You know how much money that is crazy. Look, last time I saw it was 13.5, I think. I haven't placed money on it. I would lean to put TCU at +13.5, but that's because the dogs, they spurned me that last week, man. I honestly thought they was gonna blow them out, or Ohio State out, and then TCU. I took them at +7.5, and really, I've been riding them all year. I've been riding TCU all year, and I've been winning money off of them because they always play in these close games. So I could see them making another close game out of something. 13.5 points is a lot of points. So
Man, that was some of the worst coverage defense that I've ever seen in my entire life. The other day, watching that UGA Ohio State game, I mean, both teams moved the ball up and
man,
down the field like it wasn't shit.
I should have hit on the over, man. Should have, man. Deep down in my
I
soul,
took
I
as
knew I
much
should.
as I don't like the dogs, man. I took them at -6 because I was like, man, there's no way that they don't smack these dudes. David, shout out to David too, man. I know we always bring him up, but man, you're a fool. Talking about man, hey, Ohio State better be lucky they're not getting blown out. They were winning at halftime, dude.
Thought that game was done. I ain't even gonna lie. I thought that game was done. But
Yeah,
Yeah, refs
they
had to
got to
take
win.
over.
frogs, man. Dogs versus frogs. I think
When you can't beat them conventionally, just take out their best player, man. It works.
that was
It
clean. That was a
works.
clean ass hit, man. That was clean as shit.
Hell no. Hell
What you
no.
talking
Of
about?
course,
Marvin Harrison Jr. wasn't
by
clean.
look,
That's
hey,
old school
by
football, man.
rule,
Dislodge person from
look,
ball, and
man,
he did that.
by rule, by rule, you are correct. It's clean. By rule,
No.
it's clean. Look, it's not targeting. But if you can't, you're not sitting here telling me that defender didn't see the best opportunity to take out a receiver that has been burning their defense the whole game. He had like 108 something receiving yards at that point, and he said, "Oh shit, let me just drop my shoulder on this hit real quick and lay his ass out, give him a concussion, and get taken out of the game."
Man.
Y'all
Crap,
sound
man.
like some millennials. Don't y'all like hard nosed
Hold up.
football?
That's what I'm saying. I've always
Yeah,
said
whenever I played, our coaches always told us to do some dirty shit.
Dislodge ball. If you can't intercept it, dislodge ball from player.
nah, this is my whole
Cleanly.
thing right here. I got to go ahead and say it right here because by rule, that shit definitely, if we're going by rule, that shit was definitely targeted. We talking about
No.
helmet to helmet. You can't launch at a defenseless player with your head, shoulder, forearm, or fist. He clearly went shoulder. If you're not gonna
Well,
call targeted, I say all targeted is bullshit. It's all bullshit. But all I know is I seen the last 2 times Clemson went to the playoffs. Our man Skalski gets ejected both years, man, over routine tackles, man. They just go and review that shit, and I'm like, wow, that's targeted. But this ain't in the
it
biggest
wasn't.
moment. This ain't. I cannot believe that shit. If Ohio State does that to Georgia, it's clearly targeted. They're throwing
Ohio
in.
State
It,
cornerback just so happens to slip on a little go
yeah,
route. Just so happens to slip. Just so
man. I'm
happens to
saying.
How
slip.
would y'all say? How would y'all possibly say that? That Vegas would be favoring Georgia. Most gamblers probably put money on Georgia to cover.
Oh yeah. Wait,
So
what you
why
Yeah.
say?
would they want Georgia to cover? They would want Ohio State to win. So they would favor Ohio State if y'all believe in all that kind of stuff.
But
Nah, no, they
Vegas knew that
wouldn't.
that game was actually going to be competitive, unlike some people that thought that they was just going to walk out there and dog walk them.
I feel like I feel like you're saying the opposite, crap. They've had Georgia at
Vegas,
-6.
yeah, but Vegas would want Ohio State to keep it close so they could win everybody's money that they bet on. Why would they want
Well,
Ohio
shit,
State to
that's
keep
what
it
happened.
close?
I
Huh?
ain't talking about Vegas though. I'm just saying, man. I'm a Clemson fan. Chris, how many times have we seen routine tackles? They just go and review that shit, and they're like, "Man,
I
that's
already told you
targeted
the
this
other day,
time."
man.
And then
I
this
said,
one
I
ain't. This one's not. Come on, man. I cannot even believe it. That I'm in shock, man. I was
If
like in the
Brissy would,
kitchen.
like I said, man, if Brissy would have hit somebody like that, they probably would have fucking suspended this dude and called him a racist. I ain't even gonna lie to you. They probably would have made him not even be able to go to the NFL. They'd
And
be like,
people,
fuck no.
I'm thinking, I could just sit back and just think all the hits that Deshaun Watson took versus Alabama, and none of that. I mean, it's just like only a Clemson fan, the ACC. If the ACC or a Pac fan does what Georgia did, they're getting ejected. No
But hey,
doubt about it.
shout out to Stetson. You know what quarterbacks
Man,
he
fuck
joins?
Stetson. I'm just
You
kidding.
know what? No, look, man. No, you're definitely gonna want to hear this one. He joins Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence, the only quarterbacks to go back to the national championships. That's you know, hey, they're probably gonna win. Now they didn't win two in a row. I mean, not everybody gets to play TCU in the Natty when they go, but I mean, but
Y'all, I don't want to
Man,
it
hear
is
y'all
what it
say
is.
shit about TCU. Matt on an episode pretty much laid on the ground just begging the college football playoff committee to put TCU in there, saying TCU
Well, they
is
deserve to be there.
they
However.
deserve to be in there. They
So that
deserve
But
to
so
it's
be
when
in
still, I
there.
Georgia
mean,
beat
like
so when Georgia beats them, it's
y'all
going
should
to be a
still go
fluke.
out. I mean,
Well, I'm just saying this. It's
no,
like
I mean,
when
y'all
Clemson
should. I feel like
plays.
y'all should go out there and smack them.
When Clemson plays in national
I don't
championships,
think we
we're playing
should.
Alabama. Y'all are playing a little. What do SEC fans? The Big 12, they got no respect. The Big 12 got none respect this year. And here y'all are facing them in the title game. So I don't want to hear any Georgia fans saying anything about this game being close. This game better be a win by 30 for all I care.
I
Give me
I
them
disagree.
points.
I think TCU's going to cover that 13.5 pretty easily. I'm a firm
Same.
believer in I
I
don't
hope
care
they
about
do because I'm
I
gonna
don't
put
care
some
about
money
what
on
you
it.
look like earlier in the year and what teams you beat. I care about what have you done for me lately. And TCU looks like a better team than Georgia right now. So I don't care
I
if
don't
they're a
know about
small
that.
school or not. Show them respect.
Well, obviously, I'm pulling for TCU. I fucking hate Dogs fans. They up blowing my phone up. Except for David.
I hate being a Dogs fan on a Clemson podcast.
The only Georgia fan that wasn't talking
It ain't
that
fair.
night was old David. David was like, all that shit he done talked all day. He had to go sit down somewhere. Dude thought they was gonna win by 40 or something the way he was talking.
He said that they had to let us play Ohio State so they'd make it competitive or something like that. And I was like, what are you talking about, dude? That's the best offense y'all played all year, probably.
Hey, I can't wait to talk about old Stroud when we do some little rookie talk. He gained my
Stroud did look
respect
pretty good.
gained my respect a
Yeah.
whole lot the way he was playing. And then Marvin Harrison is clearly the best receiver in college football, is what I think. There ain't nobody that can stop that dude, Big Ten or SEC, because that's the best defense in the SEC is Georgia right there, and they just tapped up 42 points or whatever it was on them, so 41. So
This seems to happen every college football playoff though. Like defenses just disappear from these games every year.
Yeah.
Don't matter how good they were in their season. I don't remember the Clemson Bama games that much, but they were pretty high scoring, right? The championship,
we
Both
national
of
won.
championship.
them.
Nah, we won by 30, 29 or something like that.
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying they were high scoring though.
Yeah,
I
both of
don't.
them were decently high school.
The first one was the second though. When Trevor Lawrence won, Alabama didn't even score more than 17 or something like that. It was like,
Yeah,
I don't
but we
remember
put
what
up like
Georgia
40.
Bama was last year. It
we
wasn't that
won
high
by like
scoring.
30 points.
all right, well, shoot, y'all want to talk about any of these NFL games implications real quick? We just went on a rant about some phantom targeting calls and shit like that. But real quick, let's just go through. Crap, just go ahead and list us out the scenarios real quick. What's going on out there? Maybe this will help people with some gambling or some DFS lineups, or just people who want to watch football. So,
All right, I'm gonna go game by game. Kansas City got the Raiders. Kansas City can lock up the number 1 seed with a win against them. Don't matter what anybody else does. Tennessee Jaguars, Saturday night, win an end game. Whichever team wins that game, they win the division. So that's gonna be a fun one to watch. The Jets and Dolphins. The Jets they'll play their players, but they ain't got much to play for. The Dolphins need a win and a Patriots loss to the Bills to get in. to the playoffs. So they got a lot to play for. Cleveland and Steelers, you can put players in that one. Steelers need a win and a Miami loss and a Patriots loss. And all these games are at 1 o'clock, so nobody's going to know anything. So they're going to be playing. It's not like they play at 4 and already know the outcomes of the other games. So Houston and the Colts, don't nobody give a fuck. Tampa Bay and the Falcons. Tampa Bay don't have anything to play for. Vegas got the Falcons favored at 4.5. So that Vegas don't think that Tampa Bay's players are playing. If you're doing DFS and you want to throw in Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, you might just be throwing money in the toilet. I don't know. But who knows? They could play. Not saying there's no chance that they'll play, but I don't think so. Carolina and the Saints, no playoff implications there. Just like Chris said, the number 2 seed in the NFC South, whoop-de-doo. The number 1 seed in the NFC South is a whoop-de-doo. But
it really is.
And then Patriots and Bills, they play at 1 o'clock, like I said. Bills, I don't know the exact thing on the Bills because there's something. They said the game got canceled, but I don't know if they got a loss or if it's going to be a no contest. So I don't know how they're going to do the playoff scenario between them and the Chiefs. So if like the Chiefs lose and the Bills win, it kind of boils down to that Bills-Bengals game and how they're going to rule it. But if the Chiefs win this week, the Bills could have possibly got the number 1 seed if they would have beat the Bengals last week and then win again this week. But I don't think that's part of the question anymore. But they're in the playoffs. They'll be like the number 2 or 3 seed. But Vikings and Bears, they both have something to play for. I think I hadn't seen much on the Vikings. That's why I took the under in that game because I think if they do get up, they might bench some of their players. I know that San Fran, if they were to lose, the Vikings could jump them, but San Fran ain't gonna lose to the Cardinals. So,
Right.
I think that's pretty much the only thing the Vikings got to play for because they can't move up to the number 1 seed. They can't drop to the 4 seed because the Buccaneers are so terrible. And so the only thing I think they could do is jump up to the number 2 seed if San Fran loses. And San Fran plays later in the day, so they might just play their players hoping that San Fran might lose later. But Baltimore and Cincinnati, that game's for the division. Both them teams. That's for the AFC North, so that's a big one. The Giants are locked into the 6th seed in the NFC. They can't move up. They can't move down. And the Eagles, if they win, they're the number 1 seed. If they lose and San Fran wins, San Fran can jump them to be the number 1 seed. So just want to tell y'all right now, I'm already thinking about it. If the Packers win this week and San Fran and Philly win, on to the 49ers we go again. Fuckers.
Man,
already
y'all might
thinking
get
about
them. Y'all been kind of high lately, though.
We'll see. And then the next one, so this is the first 4 o'clock game. So all them are 1 o'clock games. Rams, Seahawks. The Seahawks need a win, and they need the Packers to lose to get in. So they're going to be playing balls to the wall because that Packers game is at night. Chargers, Broncos. I'm pretty sure the Chargers, they got the Broncos favored by 2.5. So not expecting them to be playing a lot of their starters. So be wary of that one. I don't think they can move far up and down in their standings where they're at right now. Cardinals, 49ers. Like I said, 49ers could get the number 1 seed if they win and the Eagles lose. But they will know if the Eagles have won already because they play at 1. So that one, 49ers, if you like McCaffrey, that's very risky. Brock Purdy is pretty risky. I don't know who if they're going to play their starters or not. And then the Cowboys and the Commanders, I think they're going to play their guys. So Commanders are out of the playoffs, and the Cowboys, they can move up a spot. I'm not sure. But and then the Sunday night game, my boys, the Packers and Lions. If the Packers win, they're in. The Lions need the Seahawks to lose and them to win to get in, and they will know if the Seahawks won or not before this game. So if the Seahawks win, Detroit cannot make the playoffs.
So I guess the games really I'm looking forward to the most is like on Saturday. I know there's a couple, but I just want to see Trevor Lawrence. I hope he gets into the playoffs for the first time. And then Sunday night, the Kraft Man's Pack Band. I cannot wait to watch them play, and I hope the Detroit has something to play for. Makes it a little bit funner. So either way, I took the money line on Green Bay, and then if I had a good week, I might just slap some more on that thing because I'm totally confident in my Green Bay Packers.
With the 49ers, if they end up playing I ain't even gonna talk about it now. We got to beat Detroit. Detroit's a good ass team.
Man, it must feel good to have your team playing for something.
I never would have thought it when they were 4-8. I never would have thought they'd be playing for something.
True, I did. I thought y'all was done too. I ain't gonna lie. But now I'm sitting here riding y'all, trying to make some money off y'all. I mean, last week was a no-brainer, and this week I feel the same way. So,
which teams in these, Chris? What teams in these winning in games and stuff do you want to see in the playoffs? Do you want to see the Jags or the Titans in there?
Oh, definitely the Jags. I want Trevor Lawrence to get in there.
You Jags? What about which of the three teams that are fighting there? The Patriots, Steelers, or Dolphins? Which one? I'd like to see the Steelers get in, to tell you the truth.
See, I would like the Steelers just because underneath that coaching, Mike Tomlin, he's got the history of making the playoffs. He hadn't had I think I was reading that he hadn't even had a losing season in many odd years. Never. Yeah, he's never had a losing season. So I'm thinking the Steelers could pull it out and get in there.
I'm pulling for Kenny Pickett too.
I want the Packers to get in too. I mean, I just like watching good players and play in these playoff games. I want to see Aaron Rodgers get out there and play in these playoff games. I mean, I feel like y'all might get the 49ers, and that'll be a little uphill battle for sure, but
I'll be happy
can do it. Aaron Rodgers.
I'll be happy if we even get in there. I'm just going to be happy.
I mean, you got to think Jair Alexander just made the best wide receiver in the NFL look like a baby last week. So,
Brock Purdy, he ain't too scary. But their weapons are scary, but Brock Purdy ain't scary.
Yeah.
Probably had Debo back. All that.
They already do. He's back this week, I think.
So, he'd be playing.
So, yeah. Anything else we need to touch on before we cap it on off?
No. I think
let's wrap it on up then. So then just add the podcast, give us a 5-star review, join the Discord, add us on Twitter, Instagram. What am I missing, Chris? I had it baked last time. Now Twitch. I'm sitting there. Twitch, hit us up. Yeah, add us on Twitch. Crap, man. Anything to say to the people? YouTube, man. Shit, I'll drop the ball today. But heck, this one might not get on YouTube, right, Chris? This one's going.
Probably won't. Now I might be able to take it and put it on as an audio file, but waiting on internet.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. It'll definitely be on the podcast. Tomorrow's episode will be on the podcast too. So, Craft Man, what you got to say to the people?
Saturday night, Jaguars, Titans. Sunday night, Green Bay, Detroit. Monday night, National Championship. Gonna be a couple good nights.
Man, and luckily, man, I have to work on Monday night, so I won't get to see the dogs. I won't have to see my phone. Dodge the bullet, baby. Dodge the bullet. Man, Kraft, man. Living in a world where the dogs are about to be back to back. That's a tough pill to swallow, man. Tough pill to swallow. Chris, you got anything to say to the people, man?
You might see Chris Shira has left the group chat and the crew whenever the dogs win again, because I just can't, man. I can't with some of them. But man, I'm the champion, man. Y'all need to realize this shit in our league. I'm the champion. I won. Will's team shit the bed. He's got his kicker. He's not gonna cover 24 points. Come on, man. Let's be realistic. Give me my trophy and crown me. I'm gonna be like Dunk, man. I'm out here fucking doing that shit. Crown me, motherfucker. Give me my trophy. Micah, you better not have skeeted all over it either.
Come on, I know that's right. Man. I ain't dealing with that kind of shit. If I ever am blessed to win that trophy, I'm wiping it down and polishing that thing.
I'm checking it with a black light as soon as I get it, man. I'm like, oh, I hope you did. I'm just fucking with you, Micah.
Or if I did it, I'm just gonna make it nasty. Like I'm gonna just eat hot wings next to it every time.
I'm gonna definitely have it on the
Brush
pod.
my teeth next to it. I'm gonna bring it everywhere I go. Let the baby play with it.
Take a doo-doo. That's the toilet right here, baby.
Y'all gonna get a text in the group chat talking about, damn, man, we're gonna have to get another trophy. I'm be like, Silas broke it.
Gonna have to lock that up in a cabinet somewhere. Oh, Lord.
That air I poo-pooed.
He'll probably look at me and go, he'll probably look right at me and go, shit.
Oh, Lord. All right, well, shit, man. We wrapping it on up, man. Thanks for listening to the podcast. So, we out.
Peace. Go Pack.
See y'all.